Hey, Tim. This is Whiskey Fireside Chat. Number 7, I think.
Lovely.
Maybe 6, I'm not sure. Oh, we'll correct that later on in the edit. We're out in the wilderness.
We are?
Yes. You have a whiskey? What whiskey do you have?
I have Tullamore Dew.
It's not, but tell the truth. Tell the story. We
don't really know what it is. But
I got this new whiskey. It's called Cork, I think, but we're not sure. I didn't want to embarrass myself about knowing the whiskey I got. So, oh man, we're really hot in this hot tent. It's really hot in this tent. Holy jump! We got the door open.
We're trying to cook, and it's
Yeah.
That.
Oh, that's good.
Hot stew's gonna be good.
Yeah. All right, now let's get to it. Let's get to the question.
Yes.
I have a question for you. Like usually people send me questions and they want me to answer it.
Shoot.
I have a question for you that I'm quite embarrassed about. I didn't know there's a difference in saw blades.
Yes. In toothing patterns for saw blades.
Okay. So first of all, what's this saw?
This is a Bob Dustrude folding buck saw.
So who's Bob?
Bob Dustrude is a 95-year-old gentleman who used to be an engineer who lives in Minnesota, who invented and still makes by hand these folding buck saws, lightweight aluminum.
So he's 95. Should we trust that saw?
I haven't had a problem with any of the saws he's sent to me. No, great guy, still cranking them out. God bless him. And there's a couple different tooth patterns you can get. It comes stock with this tooth pattern.
Okay, let me get a close up here. All right.
Okay.
Wait a minute. It's got to focus in now. No panic here. Your beautiful face is focusing in, but the saw blade isn't. But anyway, yeah, it's a different saw blade. Okay.
All right. So this tooth pattern, here's 2 types of teeth here. So there's cutting teeth and raking teeth, they're called. So the way this works, the cutting teeth, which are these guys, will cut into the wood, and then these teeth, the rakers, will kind of scrape out what's called the kerf, or the line where the saw is sawing, will rake out the sawdust and bits that the cutting teeth have cut. This is a good tooth pattern for either dry softwoods or green hardwoods. These saws come standard with this blade because it's kind of the most versatile.
Now, I know the difference between softwood and hardwood.
Okay.
But some people might not know.
Oh, so softwood is anything with needles, and hardwood is...
So conifer, like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then hardwoods would be things with leaves. Maple, oak, beech.
Okay.
Anything that sheds its leaves.
And the fibers of those are really dense. They're really,
Correct.
And that's why they're hardwood.
Exactly. Whereas softwood, it's not as dense, so you get... When you're sawing, actually, the sawdust is not as fine either.
So if you're really weak, like Ashley, and he can't really saw, it'd be best for him to saw through a softwood.
Correct.
Oh, bring a chainsaw.
Softwood is more resinous as well, so this is why having...
What is resinous?
Gummy. Resin, gummy, exactly. It's not as dry and powdery, so that's why have this design, which was developed in North America, actually because European saws tend to have a different tooth pattern. Any of the old-time big crosscut saws you see are always this kind of pattern with separate cutters and rakers.
Oh, like the old lumberjacks.
Big two-man lumberjack North American saws.
Oh, they were men, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, they had good whiskey back then.
They did.
Yeah.
All right, next tooth pattern.
What if you have
Here we go. Oh, got it. Okay.
Okay, it's called a peg toothing pattern, where there's only one type of tooth here, which does both the cutting and the raking. So this type of pattern is best for dry hardwoods, because they're actually, like you said, the cellular structure, it's tighter and denser, so that when you're sawing, the sawdust that it creates is a lot finer, and this is actually a better tooth. You have to work a bit harder using
Wait a minute. Does your wife do your nails? Look at that. Look how good your nails are. No, seriously.
You're going off top.
I am, but look how nice his nails are.
Okay, so back to sawtooth patterns. So because we're winter camping, kind of the prize we're after here are dry hardwoods, because they burn hotter and longer. Softwoods will burn, you get good heat, but it kind of peters out. There's kind of a curve where it gets hot and then it dies. Hardwoods are kind of more steady. So in a winter camping situation, you want to find nice dry hardwoods. So this is actually your best tooth pattern. And it's not that you couldn't saw softwoods with this. It'll go a bit quicker with this pattern, but for going through nice hardwoods, like if we find maple or oak or other things that burn really well, that's a better choice for winter camping.
Where do you get these blades? At Canadian Tire?
No, definitely not Canadian Tire.
No?
Probably your best source would be a store called Canadian Outdoor Equipment Company.
Oh, he's the owner of the store, for heaven's sake. But seriously, you can't buy these at Canadian Tire?
I don't think they have them.
No.
I don't
I've
think they do.
never
I don't think
seen
you can get it. Do you know, Joe?
They don't sell that quality.
No, I don't think you can get a Baco.
You can get this style, but not Baco. Definitely not.
So Baco is a Swedish company. They used to all be made in Sweden. Like a lot of other companies, they've diversified. So these are actually made in Portugal now. Now, one thing I should mention about all these kinds of saw blades is that the teeth are hardened. So unfortunately, and this is the way the vast majority of saw blades have moved to, that you can't sharpen this kind of tooth pattern. It's hardened. That'd be harder than a file. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, these are used until they're dull, and then
Yeah.
you chuck them, which is kind of silly.
Well, that is a really good whiskey fireside chat
Yes, it
with
is.
Jameson, Cork,
Yes.
whatever Irish whiskey I got at the LCBO.
Tullamore
Tullamore.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, everybody. Cheers.